This is an exciting time. It coincides with a lot of changes. We have the new undergraduate academic regs coming out. We have elevated standards now for what is it we do here? Oh yeah, we teach students, that's right. For our students, we have the review of the GenEd program was officially approved by the Faculty Senate last year, and we're undergoing a self-study. And the purpose of this is to give you a few minutes to step back and look at this as an opportunity to bring excitement to the table when you do the self-study. It's not going to be the same old, we hope, with general education. One of the things about our general education program is it's been an excellent program. But it's time now for us to step back and think a little bit differently about it. And I'm just going to open with a few comments, but the first thing that I want to share with you is that the American Association of Colleges and Universities came out with their Liberal Education and America's Promise report in 2008. And one of the interesting findings is that employers endorse a new vision of liberal education. Employers strongly endorse the practices that characterize liberal education. When presented with a description and asked how important they feel it is for colleges and universities to provide a liberal education, employers overwhelmingly recognize it as important. Well, what do they mean by overwhelmingly? 69% said it was very important. 69%, almost 70%. 26% said it was fairly important. So overall, liberal education is appreciated by the hiring folks that we're sending our students out to if they're not going on to graduate education. So it's time for us to have a change of conversation. And one of the things that I talked to the advisors about when we started talking about the academic regulations is that having been here for 22 years, I'm very, very sad to say that I've heard my colleagues denigrate the general education program. I've heard advisors denigrate the general education program or courses within the general education program. I've heard them do this in front of students. Now, it's certainly a wonderful thing for us to look critically at our programs and critically at our courses, but we need to do that amongst ourselves, and if there's repairing to be done, let's do the repairing. But general education, whether you support it or not, whether you like it or not, it is an American university affair. It's a community effort. And we want to make sure that the faculty support general education as a community, and then anything that we can do to strengthen it, to make it an enlightened experience for our students, we should work behind the scenes and make sure that that goes together. I believe that the self-study is a wonderful place for us to start, and that the new structure of the general education program, the flexibility, is going to make it a better experience for all of us, our faculty and our students. So that it's no longer a burden. The mission will be to educate students by opening their horizons, and that it is a community affair, that we all buy into this together, and we support it, we sustain it, and we make it more and more exciting. GenEd is about opportunity. It's not requirements, it's for our students. It is the academic unit's one opportunity to excite the students about your discipline. So explore topics and disciplines and ways of knowing as they become who they are, to customize their liberal arts education around their interests and their courses of study. I think that in the self-study, we need to think a little bit of our general education, think differently of our general education's courses, not as a course that's also convenient to be a prereq to the major, but as a course that's a step back and pause and to capture the general audience about the excitement of the discipline. So any way that your unit can manage that, offering courses that are general education courses versus courses that are prereqs to a major, if you can fold those in together, that's a good thing. But if it's to be called general education, we do want to have that breadth, that opportunity for you to excite and to stimulate the students. It's opportunity for individual faculty to bring to the table the creativity. One of the things that I talk about to, or I used to talk to faculty about, is learning outcomes. And a learning outcome is a wonderful exercise because for me, when I started crafting learning outcomes for my mathematics course, finite math, you know, I stepped back and I said, well, what's the big idea? I mean, what is the thing that I want my students to remember 20 years from now about finite mathematics? And that caused me to leap to another way of thinking when I taught that course. What are some meaningful things? What are the things that I want students to experience in that course that they can take away and that they can remember 20 years down the road? And then what do I want them to remember 5 years down the road? And then what are the basic skills, sort of backing up that way? But that moment that I could step back and say, why am I doing this? You know, what is this about? That gave me a new dimension that I could bring to the table with different learning outcomes that tapped into different ways of assessing my students beyond the tests. So it was a wonderful thing for me, although finite math is not a GenEd requirement, similar. To attract enrollments and ensure that the courses will fill. When we have that excitement, when our faculty are excited about it, the academic units are excited about what they're offering, the students will get that sense. The students will get that sense that this is not just a requirement that I have to meet, but that, you know, they really care about this and they're bringing their best and their brightest faculty to share this experience with them. This is an opportunity for departments to put their most exciting teachers in front of the students. So that's where you can capture your students' interest, and that's where you can capture your majors. To reach out to students beyond their majors, some of who might become double majors, dual degrees, pursue minors. This is where a lot of students come in wanting to major in X, I won't name the discipline or I'll be in trouble, and end up wanting to major in Y as a function of their general education experience, or stay in X but seek a dual degree or a minor in Y. Okay, we want to give them that opportunity to think a little bit more broadly maybe than they were thinking when they came to us. It's a change of management philosophy. We really want you to be pedagogically creative when you begin this self-study process, to step back, re-examine your course, and bring that dimension of excitement. We want it to be a sensible division of labor. We know that units know their subject and how to teach it, and GenEd knows how to promote learning outcomes. And we have a wonderful staff in the Office of Undergraduate Studies that can provide you guidance on all of this as you're doing your self-study. Delegating authority. What did I mean by that? Oh, it's my delegating authority. So I'm about to delegate the authority, and it's time to turn this over to the people who really know the GenEd program inside and out and can provide you the assistance, and we'll talk about the changes that are coming in the structure of general education. So Patrick Jackson